you play alone. They won't leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution.
Welcome to Daytona Beach, Florida, for another rendition of the great American race, the Daytona 500. Here for another great show, we hope. I am joined today by Speed Cup Stop Motion and the MLCS Racing Network. Take it away.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Daytona International Speedway here for the 2022 Daytona 500. We look forward to seeing the next-gen car on its first super speedway date. MLCS, do you expect we're going to see as much passing as we did with the Gen 6?
Well, we're going to open the curtains to a brand new season of racing, and that's going to bring a brand new car. Now, nobody quite knows how these cars will work around, manage their way through traffic, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out today. The fans are excited, and I can't wait to get this one started.
I indeed do believe we're in for a great show today. It'll be interesting to see how these drivers and crews are able to adapt to an incredibly new car that they barely have any experience with. We've had practices this week, we've had qualifying, we've had the duels, but that's about it for most of these drivers in the field. What do you guys expect to see today?
I expect to see some crazy 4-wide racing like we usually do at Daytona. More like 3-wide, I should say. But honestly, I expect some, with this new car, maybe some players that we haven't seen up here in front of these super speedways, like Kyle Larson, who won the pole today. You know, his luck on these super speedways have been not the best, so maybe he could be someone to win in the his first ever super speedway race in the Gen 7 car.
Yeah, they call the next gen the Great Equalizer. It's meant to make all the teams more even, all the cars more competitive, and we will see if it will prove that today.
And now for our invocation by the East Coast Racing Network.
Will you pray with me? Dear Lord, we thank you so much for this day, this beautiful blue sky day in Daytona. I thank you so much for, and I thank you so much for this ability to gather together to enjoy the sport we all love. Lord, I pray for peace and protection today. And Lord, I pray that you'll protect all the drivers, crew members, and everyone everywhere. We thank you for our first responders and our armed forces who protect this great country. Lord, we thank you so much for you and sending your son Jesus to die for us on a cross. Lord, we thank you so much for you. I pray all of this in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
And now, if you will, please rise for the performance of the national anthem. We are just about ready here at Daytona to get underway, but we are first going to take a quick commercial break and then get back to take the green flag. And welcome back once again to Daytona International Speedway. We are about to get ready to go in this great American race. Let's see our ones to watch for today's Daytona 500 event. Kyle Larson is your pole winner for today's race. He won the series championship last year, but it was a different car, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And will his super speedway luck improve?
Denny Hamlin in the number 11 Toyota. He's a 3-time Daytona 500 champion, but this new car could be the equalizer and take away the advantage he's had over the past few seasons.
And then take a look at Chase Briscoe. He was your Duel 1 winner, and he's looking at his second season, but he's still looking for that first win. But with this great equalizer, can he pull one out?
Bubba Wallace in the 23 car won Duel 2. He won a drafting race in the 2021 season last season, but he now has a teammate to help him. Will it help him get the win today?
Then you have Michael McDowell, your 2021 Daytona 500 champion. He won Saturday night practice, and he's very good at the draft. Watch that 34 car.
But how about the 18 of Kyle Busch? He is still trying to win his first ever Daytona 500, but he wrecked in his duel and be starting in the back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if those guys are able to do well today. And now for the greatest words in motorsports, Sarah Cup Series.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this Daytona 500? Drivers, start your engines!
The engines have been fired. They are now getting ready to roll off and begin this great race. Here's your starting lineup. Row 1, we have Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick on the front row.
Row number 2 is Chase Briscoe and Bubba Wallace.
Right behind them in row 3, we got Chris Buescher and Alex Bowman.
Row 4, we have Todd Gilliland and Justin Haley.
Row 5 is Joey Logano and Cole Custer.
Just outside the top 10, we got Austin Dillon and Ryan Blaney.
On row 7, we have Denny Hamlin and Michael McDowell.
Row number 8 is going to have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Christopher Bell.
Right behind them, we got Daniel Hemrick and Brad Keselowski.
Row 10, we have Kurt Busch and Noah Gragson.
In row number 11, we have the 2020 Cup Series champion Chase Elliott and Eric Jones.
Behind them, we got Bacon-faced Eric Almirola and Corey LaJoy.
Trackhouse teammates of Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain, row 13.
Then we have MTJ and David Reagan.
Just inside the top 40, we got Ty Dillon and BJ McLeod.
In row 16, Austin Cindric and Timmy Hill.
Row 17 has Landon Castle and William Byron.
Then behind them, we got Cody Ware and Kevin Harvick in the back.
Then it's Kaz Gralla and Harrison Burton.
Then finally, it's Greg Biffle and Kyle Busch rounding out in row number 20, folks.
Before we get going, let's take a quick look at the duels.
Duel 1 began with a bang. Kyle Larson and Joey Logano were your front row. Larson in the 5 car heading through turns 1 and 2 would end up dropping to the back. The pole sitter does not want to risk anything here for Sunday's Daytona 500. Obviously, if he tears up the car, he's out of it. On lap 21 then, Chris Buescher leading the race around as everyone just rides the outside wall to complete the lap. Then all the Chevys come into pit. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had an amazing stop in the 47 car. He gained spots on pit road as they all exit. Everything nice and tidy amongst the Chevys, along with Martin Truex Jr. Chris Buescher leads the group of Fords onto pit road with the rest of the Toyotas. Buescher had an alright stop, but overall only lost 1 spot to Joey Logano in that pit cycle. The first 4 Fords broke away just past halfway after the pit cycle. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. led his respective pack. The field really got strung out after these pit stops, and Stenhouse in that 47 was just playing catch-up the entire time. But on the final lap of the dual race, Chase Briscoe would make his move and get past Chris Buescher just seconds before the finish to claim duel number 1. Austin Dillon would lead a second pack across the line to finish top 5, and Briscoe ended up victorious. He will start third in the Daytona 500, and JJ Yaley will go home in the 55 car as an open entry. Duel number 2, much like Duel 1, kicked off relatively calm, and it was Tyler Reddick not playing the drop back game early here. He instead stormed to the lead. All he needs to do, just like Kyle Larson, is finish, and his front row spot for the Daytona 500 is secured. On lap 16 of the race, Kevin Harvick tried making a move, got to the inside of William Byron before turning him into the wall, and 4 cars were involved in total. Harvick was out. Harrison Burton and Kyle Busch also getting a piece of it. You can see Harvick off the bumper of Keselowski after getting woed up after hitting the 24 of William Byron, who threw a late block. All 4 cars are out of the duel and will need backups. Tyler Reddick wins the race off of pit road under the caution, as you can see the field go by, and we got the green flag on lap 23 of the race. As they head down into turn number 1, Bubba Wallace was storming to the lead for a second, but then Tyler Reddick, with a big surge of momentum on the inside, takes it back. Reddick was having a strong day. Unlike Jacques Villeneuve, the open entry, the 27 car, was out of the race and out of the Daytona 500. An unfortunate end to Villeneuve's chances for the great American race. On the final lap, Bowman was making a huge charge towards the front, but he couldn't get to Bubba Wallace in time. Bubba Wallace won duel number 2 at Daytona. Look out for him, because he will start 4th in the Daytona 500.
Very exciting duels here at Daytona, folks. Now, let's take a look at the weather report for the Great American Race today. It's going to be 82 degrees. The track temps 102. It's going to be partly cloudy with a chance of rain at 61%. So watch for that. That could play a factor later in today's race. Something to definitely keep your eye on as this race goes on into the later afternoon.
Now, as you noticed during the duel highlights, some drivers have had some problems this weekend, and as a matter of fact, 8 cars will be going to the rear of the field. Most of them for backup cars, as the 4 you saw who wrecked in the duels, as well as 2 other guys who wrecked in practice, and Chastain and Stenhouse, without wrecking their cars, still had some other sort of rule situation that made them go to the back. And now, we are just about ready to roll up. First, here's Luke with the keys to the race.
And remember, these are the ways to victory. You're going to see a lot of pack racing in today's event. It's really important to make sure you're able to weave through it to avoid the big one. There is a possibility of rain, and we have new manufactured tires that will shake everything up.
Their double file now coming through 3 and 4. The pace car is now pulling onto pit road. The fans are on their feet. They're cheering. Green flag here at Daytona. As they're now coming down onto the backstretch, Kyle Larson has cleared Reddick for the lead, but now Briscoe already on lap 1, getting some help from his teammate of Chris Buescher. Coming to the line to complete the lap will be Kyle Larson.
Larson's going to lead the first lap. Hendrick out front early, but here comes Chase Briscoe with help from 4 teammate Chris Buescher down the back straightaway, down the Daytona Superstretch for the second time today. They're going to clear up top, single file the first 1, 2, 3 leaders, along with Tyler Reddick behind them. There's Todd Gilliland trying to make that bottom lane work.
And you can see the top 4 are going to start single file. 2 Fords, 2 Chevys going to start us out top. But how about that bottom lane? Still fading back. Todd Gilliland, 3rd lane now. Take a look at Austin Dillon trying to make things work with support from Denny Hamlin. But up front, here comes Kyle Larson. Briscoe down to block as we merge onto lap 4.
Buescher gets thrown into the sucker hole. Now he's going backwards while Briscoe continues to lead. Here comes Larson with help from Chevy, teammate of Tyler Reddick, up top and along with Austin Dillon down the back straightaway. He'll take the lead. Hendrick once again out front. Larson in the lead. He's going to lead the 4th lap of the Great American Race.
But it looks like Denny Hamlin's making a charge on the inside lane with his teammate and his driver, Kurt Busch, in the 45, with now Bubba Wallace pulling in front of them. Toyota is working well together on the bottom lane, but look out for those Chevys. Can they hold the lead on the outside? Coming through 3 and 4 here on lap 5.
We're going to have 4 Chevys versus the Toyotas on the bottom as we are on board with Larson. Exiting at turn number 2. Reddick pushing him, giving him all he's got as they sprint down the back straightaway. And look at that third lane. Dylan's left to rot. And here comes Bubba Wallace, 2311 on the inside. They're going to be side by side across the stripe.
2311 and their boss of Denny Hamlin behind them, that 11 car trying to keep that 23 straight, not trying to cost himself more money down the Daytona super stretch once again. 3 Toyotas lead this pack, 4 Toyotas, sorry. The number 20 of Christopher Bell is helping those guys as well down the front straightaway. Wallace will lead another lap.
You know, we talked about these manufacturer ties in the pre-race, and we're already seeing it with the two Fords of Buescher and Briscoe earlier, and now all the Toyotas out front leading. It'll be interesting to see if this maintains throughout the rest of the day, as we're already going 3 wide deeper in the pack. It'll be interesting to see how many of those lanes and those guys can get towards the front.
We got a couple lanes merging back in the pack. Some guys getting a bit rowdy, a bit antsy, searching for some free real estate anywhere they can get it. And you can see there, they are a force to be reckoned with. And here comes Kurt Busch now leading the lane. How will Denny Hamlin and Eric Almirola deal with this one?
2311 has crumbled. I stand corrected. Here comes the 45. Bubba Wallace continues to plummet with Christopher Bell. Kyle Larson's also plummeting to the back. Down the Daytona super stretch once again. The cars are weaving back and forth, trying to block. Here comes Kurt Busch to the outside of his boss, Denny Hamlin, to the line with help from Ryan Blaney. Kurt Busch will lead the lap.
There were some concerns in the garage when the race began that these drivers might try to go single file to conserve fuel and figure out what their cars were going to be like coming into the race. But as we can see now, those rumors were unfounded, as we now see Kurt Busch leading with the help of his team owner Denny Hamlin coming to the line for lap 12.
You can see Kurt Busch now. He's going to move down in front of his Toyota teammate, his team owner. And up top, we got some new boys up there. Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, and his new team of RFK. As here go the Toyotas. They're a sunk cost as Eric Almirola takes back charge of the inside lane.
You see Ryan Blaney out front with help from Brad Keselowski, his former teammate of last year. Help with the 12 Penske machine push him out front. Then we got another Ford team down the back straightaway. Help from Eric Almirola in the 10 car. Gotta watch him. But that third lane is still not being able to form as Tyler Reddick up top with help from Corey LaJoie in the 7 car trying to make something happen.
We're now starting to see some guys who fell to the back early make their moves back up to the front. Tyler Reddick here, who started on the front row, is now back up to second with the help of his manufacturer teammate Corey LaJoie in the 7 car. It'll be interesting to see if they can string Blaney out to dry here, or if he'll be able to hold them off.
The outside lane once again looking a bit faster, a bit more contained, and a bit more organized as they streak off turns number 2. Inside lane fading back 3 car lengths they have up top. As now we take a look further back to back. Look how far the 2311 boys have fallen. A whole second pack has been made just for them.
More than likely, they're hanging back there. They're not getting involved in a big accident. They don't want to have to, go to the garage early here in this Great American Race, so they're going to hang back. Here comes Tyler Reddick to the inside. Help from Corey LaJoie down the front straightaway, folks. Tyler Reddick's going to lead the lap for Rich George's Racing.
We will be right back after this commercial break.
Is a winner in the NASCAR Community Cup Series.
Welcome back to Daytona, where we are currently on lap 20. Before we approach green flag pit stops, we're going to give you our first iteration of Amped Up for the year. So here you go, enjoy. Man, I just love the sound of those new next-gen cars. It'll be interesting to see how they evolve over the years. We are now on lap 23 of 65. Pit stops are coming up soon.
You see Corey LaJoie still battling with Ryan Blaney. A little bit of gridlock going on throughout the field. Down the back straightaway, Blaney getting help from Michael McDowell, the 34. We know how much he likes to make his way up on these super speedways, and he's already wormed his way up to the front.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney has a slight edge over that inside lane, but oh, how minor it is. Right behind them, we got Gillen pushing the pack nice and strong as they head down the back straightaway. Once again, LaJoie looking for anything on the inside lane. He's not quite gonna find it as everyone tries to sort out right before pit stops.
Yeah, it looks like they're already separating among themselves. Two Fords and Chevys, presumably the Toyotas, have all fallen to the back to get together for these green flag pit stops. It'll be interesting to see which group splits off first, although it looks like Chevy is in the best position to do so. As we see the Ford and the 15 of David Reagan among them. And it looks like the Chevys are pulling off now.
Corey LaJoie says his car is handling well and is happy with it so
Crash down the front straightaway. It's Daniel Hemrick, Chris Buescher into the wall along with Eric Almirola, and the caution will come out for the first time today here at Daytona. Big hits all around. Almirola gonna pull away, but that 17 machine is absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, the window nets are already down on the 17 and the 16, as it looks like those Chevys are starting to pull off pit road. That'll be good for them when it's time to restart and everyone else is behind them. Here's the replay of what happened. Yeah, it looks like the 17, the 16 got together as Hemrick was trying to pull onto pit road to join his fellow Chevy teammates. Looks like Kyle Larson might have given a little bit of a bump to Buescher there. Poor Almirola just had nowhere to go. Tough luck for all of them.
Yeah, a big crash here at Daytona spells the end for a Chevy, a Ford, and possibly another Ford of Eric Almirola. Yes, SMCS, you did mention that the Chevys are pulling off pit road. This will benefit them more than they know currently, so good fortune for the Chevys. Unfortunate that they lose one of their partners in crime.
Yeah, not what you want to see if you are one from that Chevy camp. Hemrick, Buescher to the garage, and Almirola might also follow suit. Well, we'll be back with the Great American Race soon after this commercial break.
Cleanup has concluded on the front stretch, and we are now about to conclude the first round of pit stops here at Daytona. Under caution, Ryan Blaney leads them down.
Briscoe is reporting that it is hard to pass without any help. Otherwise, he's happy with his car. 4 tires and fuel for Chase Briscoe.
Ryan Blaney is happy with his car so far. He says he is starting to determine how to make the new car better in the draft. 4 tires and fuel for Ryan Blaney.
It looks like Ryan Blaney is going to win the race off pit road, although he will not be the leader when they come back to the line. As you can see, it looks like Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch gained some spots, with McDowell and Burton each losing 1. Looks like no one in this top 10 of guys that came off managed to pull off any strategy there. And Timmy Hill is your free pass driver, as we are now on the 1 lap to go until restart.
And Eric Jones will have a penalty in the number 43, too fast exiting and too fast exiting as well for Alex Bowman. And the fastest pit stop award goes to Ross Chastain so far early in this Daytona 500. There is your starting lineup, folks. Let's get this one back underway. The pace car makes its hard left onto pit road to the restart zone. We're back racing here at Daytona. Corey LaJoie pushes the number 1 car, Ross Chastain, out early, hogging up that top side. Right, Chase Elliott tries to get help from Justin Haley on the bottom. Never mind, Haley to the top lane with help from Tyler Reddick. Elliott plummets with no help. Now looking help from his Hendrick teammates. Ross leads the lap.
Yeah, we got a Chevy train up top, 6 straight Chevrolet drivers, and Chase Elliott, another one of them, leading the bottom lane, but these 4 car lengths back, not the margin you want to be, as Stenhouse going to dip his nose below, and once again, they're left out to dry. They're 3 wide for 4th behind.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if these Chevy drivers can start working together, because I see behind them a bunch of hungry Fords ready to take back the lead here in the Daytona 500, as historically they've done a really good job of that. And already it looks like some more Chevy infighting is going to send a few more of their drivers to the back. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue to hold off the Fords for much longer.
You notice we got some underdogs up front. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton. Could they sneak away a Daytona 500 crown for themselves? How about Ross Chastain, the rookie, man? He's up here, not really the rookie, but he's up here, 2nd year of the Cup Series, making some noise in the 1 car. Off 4, it's Sticky Stenhouse leading the lap at the line.
As the Watermelon Man slips back a bit further, here comes Stenhouse. He's going to poke his nose right in front, and just like that, we got a Ford train in the making. 3 of them, all up on the top lane. And something big about those Ford's nose this year is we got a huge, almost blocked by Blaney. He's going to slide back up. Now it's Stenhouse and Byrne across the stripe.
Yeah, that was a bold move on Harrison's part there. Lucky for him, his basically alliance teammates in the Penske cars behind him were willing to let him stay in line there. This is now, it's going to be Burton versus Stenhouse for the lead, but now the Chevys are starting to fall back even more. Some Toyotas and a Ford of Chase Briscoe are now making a move around them. The Chevy train is falling apart at the front.
Harrison Burton and the Penske Alliance continues to lead here at Daytona. Oh, Alex Bowman's blowing up. He's got a problem. He's going to get it down to pit road. No caution, but the 48 car looks like he's done for the day. A Hendrick Chevrolet has engine troubles. That could spell change maybe for the other 3 out on track. Harrison Burton leads that lap.
Yeah, as you said, something very similar in these super speedway races is when one manufacturer, one team has an issue, all of the others are at risk, and if you're William Byron right there in the outside lane, you have to be terrified right now. What if the next car it happens to is you?
Yeah, we're currently hearing from some of our pit reporters that none of the other Chevy drivers, particularly the Hendrick drivers, those are the ones they've been listening to, have reported any issues so far, but it'll be interesting to see if that comes up again later in the race. Your Toyota top performers so far are Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Christopher Bell.
Yeah, so far, Bubba Wallace has been out front for some of this race, but again, you see William Byron in that Hendrick Chevrolet waiting to pounce. Kyle Busch has now made his way up to the front of the field, nearing that top 5 position. You see Austin Dillon now get a jump in front of Kyle Busch in the 18 car, with help from Denny Hamlin behind them.
As Bubba Wallace, oh, never mind, here comes William Byron shooting to the inside lane with backing from Chevrolet support as we go on board with him down the Daytona Superstretch. William Byron, what a risky move, but man, did it pay off on the inside lane. The question is, can he clear the 23 of Wallace? Austin Dillon pushing behind, and he is clear. The whole train of them are 4 cars clear of the number 1.
Yep, we are now less than 20 laps until the stage ends, and it looks like the 2 Chevys up front are going to have some company soon, as Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin are right behind them. As they come through 3 and 4, still no attempt to be passing by those 2 cars.
Remember, if Denny Hamlin gets clear, that number 4, Kevin Harvick, more than likely Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin are going to jump out on that bottom lane and try to pass those Chevys. We're coming down to the end of stage 1 very, very soon, folks. Byron's still out front here at Daytona International Speedway. Here comes Dylan. He's going to abandon the 24.
Yeah, Austin Dillon, he's going to try the interior. He's going to try his luck, do exactly what Byron did to Walsh just a couple laps previously, and it has paid off. He is clear for the lead as we are on now lap 46, just shy of 20 left before the end of stage number 1.
And already those Toyotas I just mentioned are already falling back. It'll be interesting to see if Harvick's willing to play nice behind Dillon as they're about to lap Eric Almirola. This is the first lap car they've encountered since I believe like Timmy Hill earlier, and that, you know how Timmy Hill is. Yep, they're coming to the line here with Harvick leading.
Timmy Hill, not the strongest car in the field, but Kevin Harvick, this seasoned veteran out front, first year in this next-gen car. He's looking like he never left off in 2020. Down the back straightaway, Kevin Harvick still out front, Cindric behind him. Remember, 3 Fords in a row. That is a powerful combo. We know how strong the Fords are.
Yeah, those Ford noses are really built well for... Oh, we got a car around! It's Kaz Grala corkscrewing around. He's going to rest to a stop, and the caution is out. We're going to take a look at your instant replay here on lap number 49. Let's take a look at what happened. Just 2 cars in the back, and looks like his tire might have blown hard into the outside wall, and then corkscrewed around down to the apron. Tough luck for the 50.
Yeah, the 44 Biffle there got really lucky as it looked like there were multiple instances in where Grala could have very easily hit him. And look how close that was! Tough luck for Grala, good luck for Biffle. Now, safety crews are already out there. Grala's being taken to the infield care center. No, he seemed to be pretty alright though. As you can see, he was the only driver officially involved in that crash. So we are now going to take a look at some highlights of today's race. As we all remember, on lap 1 when the race started off, 2 Chevy drivers in Larson and Reddick led us to the green. And from there, the double wide file racing only kept going from there. As we see already, even on lap 1, the manufacturer alliances were very deep. And on lap 27, we had a 3-car incident with the Chevy number 16 of Hemrick and the Fords of the 17 and 10 of Buescher and Almirola, with the 16 and the 17 leaving the race with race-ending damage, and Almirola, who I believe will be getting the free pass here before this caution period ends. And as we just saw, Kaz Grala, tough luck for him, had a tire go down for the money team, their first race out here. Hate to see it for them, honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately, my wife's favorite driver is heading to the garage. Kaz Grala on the back of the tow truck. He is done for the day, folks. Kevin Harvick. Now, folks, we're getting ready to choose here at Daytona International Speedway. Actually, the free pass is going to be Eric Almirola in the 10. Good for him after having that crash earlier. Kevin Harvick and Austin Cindric on the front row for the restart here at Daytona International Speedway. Let's get the Daytona 500 back underway to the green flag and restart zone. We're racing once again at Daytona. Harvick, Cindric dead even through 1 and 2. Now Harvick's going to edge ahead a little bit. Down the back straightaway, Harvick with help from Cole Custer in the 41. But here comes Stenhouse, split the gap with help from Chevrolet teammate Eric Jones in the 43. Here comes Truex on the bottom with help from Bass Pro teammate Austin Dillon.
Less than 10 laps to go, and chaos has emerged. They're 3 wide in the back as they finally start to sort it out. But out front, we got 3, almost 4 cars, single file before the mess of it behind them. Kevin Harvick, Cole Custer, 4 teammates going to lead the entire pack off of turn number 4 to the line. It's Harvick leading yet another lap.
Yeah, we have some interesting mix of drivers up here at the front right now. 4-car breakaway, it looks like, of 2 SHR Ford teammates, and then Truex and then Jones, although it looks like Larson and Cindric are about to catch up, making the breakaway be no longer, as now Truex makes a move around Custer, coming here to the line with only 7 to go in the stage.
In laps to go, the intensity is going to be turning up. Who's going to win the first stage ever of the next gen era? Kevin Harvick's in prime position to do that as they run single file down the back straightaway. Can Truex make a move, or can Eric Jones jump out, or maybe even Kyle Larson, who initially got shuffled back? He's back in the top 5.
Kevin Harvick in the lead, yet another one, but we're rounding out stage number 1 right now, the top 7 single file, but how much longer can it last? We got 8 cars out front, but behind them, chaos as they try to get that final transfer spot for that top 10.
Oh, it looks like Truex is trying to make a move on Harvick, and he does as they cross the line here with 6 laps to go in stage 1. So we see a flyby of the field. Looks like there aren't that many drivers who are still in contention to get stage points. Perhaps a lot of those drivers are dropping back to avoid a potential big one here in the last few laps of stage 1. Hopefully that won't happen to them, though.
Some guys trying not to wreck their cars here for the Daytona 500, trying to go after the trophy instead of a measly stage point. You see Truex blocking pretty tough, though, for those 10 stage points and that playoff point so far. The 19's been able to hold off Eric Jones, but for how much longer?
Yeah, Martin Truex no longer is the answer. Eric Jones, he's going to streamline to the top lane, and he's got support. The 19 is left for dust. He is gone out of the picture, and Eric Jones is now going to lead them back to the finish line.
Yeah, we see Eric Jones leading out front, but what I see is a Ford brigade moving their way up to the front. It looks like Penske teammates of Cindric and Blaney are going to lead that charge. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, but already Truex is back with help from his teammate Kyle Busch and one of his other teammates, Denny Hamlin. And Truex makes a move around the inside of Cindric with 2 to go.
2 laps to go in stage number 1. Truex trying to block all lanes. A JGR unit has taken over the race lead. Truex, Busch, and Hamlin. But the question is, can the bottom lane mount a charge? Or is JGR just going to battle amongst themselves? I stand corrected. Here comes Kyle Busch to the inside. He wants to win the stage, and he's left out to dry by Todd Gilliland in the number 38.
White flag in stage number 1, and all the marbles are being spilled right now. We got 2 wide, side by side, a bit of a snake down the back straightaway. Todd Gilliland on the inside, looking for some free real estate. They're going to be nose to tail. Chase Briscoe's going to push the 38 out front and now ditch him to the line. Chase Briscoe going to get the 10 stage points, and it's a dogfight behind them as they cross the stripe.
We will be back shortly for the pit stops that'll follow this commercial, after Chase Briscoe won stage 1 in thrilling fashion. Welcome back to Daytona, where we just watched Chase Briscoe win the stage in thrilling fashion as he's about to lead the drivers down pit road.
After winning stage 1, Chase Briscoe says the car needs a little bit of work. He wants a few adjustments done, 4 fuels and tire for the 14.
After almost winning the stage, Todd Gilliland told his team he still needs some adjustments to get the car where he wants it, 4 tires and fuel for the 38 machine.
It looks like Martin Truex Jr. is going to win the race off pit road with Chase Briscoe, your stage winner, behind him. And I'm hearing reports that there was an uncontrolled tire. Indeed, there was. Let's see who this was from. We're going to go to instant replay here. And it appears that it came from the 41 team. So that's unfortunate for him. That's our first uncontrolled tire penalty of the season. And with this new car, the race off pit road, Truex, Briscoe, and Jones are going to be your top 3 restarting. And Briscoe lost the lead on the pit cycle there. Eric Almirola once again got the free pass. He'll be glad to see that. Here are your top 5 rows as we come back to green. Pace cars already pulling off onto pit road. And once again, we are green here in Daytona for stage 2 on lap 72. Your fastest pit stop on the last cycle was Chase Elliott in the 9 car. Good for that team. And here is your list of the stage points that were earned in the last stage. We'll keep track of that after the next stage as well.
Coming down the front straightaway, Truex is going to go block the number 9, Chase Elliott, and Todd Gilliland. Here he comes on the bottom, and here comes Elliott with help from his Hendrick teammate of William Byron down the back straightaway. Hamlin pushing him. Now into 3 and 4. Elliott's still going to have the lead over Gilliland. Coming to the line, Elliott's going to lead the lap.
Yeah, Hendrick teammates on the top lane as Truex is falling like a rock. He is gone as the Hendrick teammates continue to lead them down the Daytona Superstretch. Now as they fly by, it's Elliott, Byron, Hamlin also clear, but behind them it's a dogfight 3x3 for just a second as Gillen and Blaney fall down the sucker hole.
Yeah, Chase Elliott still getting some help from his teammate as now Hamlin's going to try to make a move, but Byron blocks. And so now it looks like Dillon's going to be the one to lead the inside line, but Byron now gets in front of Dillon. Bunch of maneuvering here by these Chevys up front. It'll be interesting to see how long they can keep this going, as it looks like the third line's forming ahead of or behind them.
Chase Elliott in the number 9 car still controlling this race. Along with his teammate of William Byron, those Hendrick teammates are controlling the lanes perfectly here at Daytona. But the question is, how long can they hold on for before Denny Hamlin and JGR is going to challenge him? Here they come on the outside.
Yeah, you can see Hamlin going to try and break him up just a little bit, and it's not completely going to work. Elliott sliding back down onto that inside lane. As the Chevy's building up quite a line, quite a forge. It's going to be 5v3. Howard turns number 4 side by side, almost a bit of contact by the 2 leaders.
It looks like Hamlin's got himself side by side with Elliott. There's going to be some side drafting going into turn 1, but no one's going to be able to clear the other here. So it looks like those Toyotas in the top line are definitely getting some momentum. It looks like Hamlin's now going to be able to clear Elliott, but he's not going to go take the line in front of him. So it looks like they're not going to be side by side going across the line.
We talked about manufacturer in the pre-race. Well, it's going on right now here at Daytona. You see Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch pushing each other down the back straightaway versus Chase Elliott, William Byron, and it goes even deeper. Definitely watch this later in the race as we get towards the end of it.
Yeah, it's all about keeping those ties together. You can see tons of Chevys on the bottom, tons of Toyotas up top. They just kind of naturally group it up here together as both lanes are dead even. Neither lane with the advantage as they head through turns 3 and 4 back to the line.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of side drafting happening right now. It's hard to tell if they're doing that to keep in line with each other to keep the other line from getting ahead of them, or if they're just doing some basic fuel saving right now with the hopes of being able to go slightly further into the stage before pitting. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out later in the race.
Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin are out front here at Daytona, folks. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Welcome back to Daytona again, here on lap 87. As currently the Penske teammates of Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney are making some momentum on the inside line. Here on lap 88 now, we are once again going to go to another amped up segment. Hope you enjoy it.
And man, don't you love to hear those engines roar here in stage number 2 as we near the halfway point of this 200 lap special. Ross Chastain still leading the pack as Ty Dillon, look at him up here. The entire field shifted their positions, trying to get a little bit antsy before pit stops coming up soon.
Yeah, they're certainly maneuvering themselves for those upcoming pit stops. It looks like the Petty teammates there and of the 42 and 43 managed to get together. That's probably a little bit of maneuvering for the upcoming pit cycle. So it looks like Chastain's still leading those Chevys, very similar to the last cycle where the Chevys were on the inside and the Fords were on the outside. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how pit stops are going to play out here at Daytona. Ross Chastain currently leading the pack on the bottom, but Brad's up top as we're seeing hands come out the window. Ross Chastain signaling to the Chevys, this is the time. Ross and the rest of them are going to come down pit road, and here they come. No mistakes.
Ross Chastain's team thinks he has one of the best race cars on the track today. He has agreed with them for the most part. He'll take a fuel pit stop only.
Kyle Larson and the 5 team have expressed their dislike for the super speedway style of racing. Kyle told me this morning he just hopes to make it to the end of the race today. It'll be fuel only for the 5 team.
Joey Logano's team thinks he and his teammate Ryan Blaney might have the best cars today and reminding him not to be too aggressive. Fuel only stop for Logano.
Ryan Blaney is still confident in this car. He thinks if him and his teammates get in front together, they could maybe dominant. Fuel only for him.
Chase Briscoe has been complaining about his car since Stage 2 began. Apparently an adjustment they made has hurt the car's performance. Fuel only for him.
Austin Dillon hasn't said much today about his car other than that it's driving okay. He just wants some stage points today. Fuel only for Dillon.
Denny Hamlin has been telling his team that he needs help from his manufacturer teammates to maintain any form of a lead. He likes the car. Fuel only for Denny Hamlin.
Martin Truex Jr. has been asking his team what his teammates' adjustments have been. He likes his car, but it could be better. Fuel only for him.
Corey LaJoie has been reporting a decrease in the maneuverability of his race car since the last pit stop, and he hopes he can work on it after the stage. Fuel only for the 7 car.
Chase Lade's started off great in the stage, but has since faded back to the back of the pack. He says he's trying to avoid a wreck up front, so it's fuel only for the number 9 machine.
Alright, it looks like we managed to complete a round of green flag pit stops without issues this time. Great news for all the drivers out there. We'll have to see if any of them got pit road penalties in a moment, but at least we were able to avoid calamity, as what happened with those 3 cars in Stage 1. So it looks like the outside lane has all the momentum right now, with Chastain leading it.
And fastest stop is going to go to Brad Keselowski, the 6 cars. He's going to make a move for the lead on Ross Chastain. And penalties for Austin Cindric and Corey LaJoie. Too fast, exiting a crew over the wall too soon. So those are going to be pass-through penalties for those 2 drivers.
As the field comes to yet another lap, the halfway point, they're going to lap Timmy Hill, but you can see LaJoie and Cindric coming down pit road. This is why you can't make any mistakes. We're halfway through this race, and a mistake like this, just one more, and it could sink your entire chance of taking home the Daytona 500.
Yeah, it's tough for them that happened, but it'll be interesting to see if they can avoid getting lapped before the end of the stage, although with 30 or so laps left in the stage, I'm not too optimistic about their chances, so they're just going to have to hope for some cautions in Stage 3. But yep, it's looking like it's going to be a Ford Brigade leading us for the time being, with Keselowski and Logano and Blaney and Harvick out front currently.
Yeah, single file racing here at Daytona. We're still waiting on the potential big one that's going to strike sooner rather than later. Brad Keselowski is currently leading this pack of Fords, but who's going to be the first to jump out of line? I see some Chevys in line back there, like Kyle Larson, Chastain, along with Eric Jones, so they could potentially give Fords a run for their money.
Yeah, if you're in the front of this group, if you're one of these Fords leading this pack, you just want to stay content, stay still, stay exactly where you are, save that fuel so you can put a push further at the end of the race, and that is exactly what they're all doing right now.
Yeah, it's looking like currently they're pretty content to stay in line with about 25 laps left in the stage. While they're still doing this single file racing, we are going to go to commercial, and we'll be back to show you the end of Stage 2 after this.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway for the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. Joey Logano took the lead under commercial break. Let's take a look how he did it. Ryan Blaney pushed the 22 out front. Penske teammates working together, and they managed to hold on to the lead currently. Now down the back straightaway, Logano still has it. Ryan Blaney looking to potentially make a move for the stage victory eventually, but just going to ride in line for now.
And Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney still leading this field. A bit of switching, a little bit of shuffling going around through the pack. Keselowski was leading before we head to break, but you can see these guys continue to just stay strong. 20 laps until the end of the stage. You just want to make sure you get there, save that fuel, and get to the end.
Yeah, we're going to take a bit of a recap of the events of the weekend, particularly the ups and downs. And here on the last lap of Duel 1, as we can see, Chase Briscoe passed Buescher to get the win of that event. As we can see, it was a very drawn-out finish. And here in Duel 2, we had the very crazy wreck here in the backstretch between Byron, Harvick, Burton, and Busch. At the end of the event, Bubba Wallace held off Bowman and Haley to get the win of that duel event. We saw some drivers lagging back to avoid getting wrecked. And then today, some notable things that have happened. On lap 27, Hemrick, Buescher, and Almirola all got into a wreck. And on lap 49, Casgralla, his tire went flat and he hit the wall even flatter. He's out of the race now. And at the end of stage 1, as you saw not long ago, here we go. They went going to 1 to go in the stage. Todd Gilliland made a great move on Kyle Busch there, which ultimately put him and Briscoe in position to battle it out for the stage win. They just had the momentum going down the line. There was some great side drafting, but Gilliland's line with Briscoe pushing him ultimately prevailed. but it was still not enough for Gilliland there as Briscoe got around him to the line. And we are now back up to date with the events that have happened in this race. Here on lap 116, now Blaney is leading the line. It looks like they're going to lap the drivers of the 2 and 7 car, Cindric and LaJoy. So they're going to have to rely on the stage caution and hopefully another caution after that to get back on the lead lap. So we're counting down to only having around 14 or 13 laps to go in the stage.
14 laps to go in stage number 2. Ryan Blaney currently controls this race, but can anybody mount a charge? I'm gonna imagine Brad Keselowski, along with Kevin Harvick, want a shot at the stage victory, and his own teammates probably looking for that stage, those 10 stage points and playoff point. So I'd watch that as we get later into the stage.
Yeah, you just know each and every one of these drivers, they do want these playoff points. But let's take a look at your Toyota top performers. Take a look at Denny Hamlin. He's up to 8th. Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr., 3 of them in a line. And Kyle Busch down in 19th.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any of them can make their ways up to the front. It actually looks like Denny Hamlin's pulling out of line now, and they're going to hang Eric Jones out to dry, and it looks like we're about to get to the part of the stage where a bunch of drivers trying to make moves passes, and it looks like now Keselowski has put the 2 cars from Penske at the dry. He's getting help from a Chevy driver in Chastain, as they're now lapping BJ McLeod.
Yeah, I don't think manufacturer ties are going to run any deeper so far. They're still together, but Brad betrays the Fords and now is leading the pack here at Daytona. We know how good the 6 car is as a super speedway racer, and now he's going to lead yet another lap, trying to get to the end of stage number 2.
Yeah, he's going to try and play both lanes for as long as possible, as here comes Chastain. He's going to poke his nose up top. He's going to try the outside, and he's going to have some free real estate there. With the lead, here comes Hamlin. Where did he come from? 3 wide for just a second. Larson is gone as Chastain leads the pack back to the line.
And we're already seeing a bunch of names that we're familiar with being at the front of the pack, now leading it as we're getting close to the end of the stage. So it looks like Chastain's being hung out to dry. That might be the end of his chances to win the stage, but maybe not so fast, as it looks like he has a bunch of support behind him. So now Denny Hamlin has the lead with Kurt Busch helping him from behind.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin has help from his 2311 driver in Kurt Busch. Brad Keselowski has help from the Fords, which are 4 in a row on the outside. We'll have to see how this one's going to end up. Denny still edging out Brad here, but can Brad generate a run to get back in front? Here comes Joey Logano 3 wide. He's going to throw Ryan Blaney in the sucker hole. That 22 said it's time to go.
Yeah, you can see every single driver. They're starting to get a bit rowdy here as Hamlin is still up front, leading the pack, playing both lanes, all charges into turns 3 and 4. It's still Hamlin. As Denny Hamlin's going to still lead the pack. Only 5 to go in stage number 2. He's going to try and leap in front of the 22 of Logano. Thinks better of it, back to the inside lane in front of Kurt Busch down the front straightaway.
It looks like now Logano is going to be able to pull alongside of the 11 car of Denny Hamlin. Some absolute powerhouses at this track here out front right now with only 5 to go in the stage. They're still going to be trying to side draft each other for all they have coming into turns 3 and 4, but they're only going to have 4 more laps left in this stage.
Logano dead even down the front straightaway. The 22 edging out the number 11, barely entering turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. If that 22 car could just get clear, and now he's going to jump down in front of Denny Hamlin, and he'll take over control of the lanes. Now, will he stay in front of the 11 car, or will he go up to block? He's going to go up to block the 1 of Ross.
Joey Logano going to lead this pack into turns number 2. Only 3 laps to go in the stage. Make it 2.5. Denny Hamlin returned to center. He's back up there. They're side by side, making a charge for the front off turns number 4.
2 laps to go here in the stage, and they're still double file with not much movement happening. They're going to have to start moving this lap if they want to have some challenge, the ability to challenge the leaders up front. Let's see if anyone's going to move out of line. Still not happening as they're once again side drafting down the Daytona Super Stretch. It'll be interesting to see what happens here on the final lap of stage 1.
Gridlock here at Daytona, white flag in stage number 2. William Byron and Kyle Larson, you see them making a third lane up there. Ross Chastain's going to jump up, but is it too little, too late? Denny goes up to block. He goes back down to block the number 45. Here they come through the middle. Byron with help from Larson. Hamlin's going to hold on, I believe, to the line. Denny Hamlin is your stage 2 winner here at Daytona.
A masterclass of blocking by the 11 car. What an absolutely crazy stage finish that was. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
So don't you think you got me again? I can't seem to deal with this. You try so hard to pull me in. We got to turn it on, 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 turn it on. We got to turn it on, go, 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 go. We got to turn it on.
After holding off the hard charge from the two Hendrick teammates, Denny Hamlin won Stage 2 in thrilling fashion, and we are once again undergoing pit stops.
Your Stage 2 winner, Denny Hamlin, says his car is driving very nicely and he thanked his teammates for helping him out. He'll take 4 tires and fuel from him.
After almost winning Stage 2, William Byron said his car needs to be tightened up a little bit during this stop. He thinks that might be all he needs, 4 tires and fuel.
And William Byron is going to barely lead Denny Hamlin and the rest of the crew off pit road. You're going to take a look at your race off pit road. Byron, Hamlin, Larson, Reddick, and Kurt Busch. Your top 5, every single one of them going to get a full 4 tires worth of fuel. But Austin Cindric, he will take the free pass, continue to the front of the field, and take a look at your stage points earned. Hamlin, obviously, with the big playoff point and 10 more points to his championship hopes. And you can see the entire race all in one picture right there. Hamlin and Byron tied for the most, and look where they are on the track. 1-2, there's your top 5 rows, your top 10 as the pace car is going to dive to the pits. It's going to be William Byron and Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick trailing behind, and just like that, we're back racing in stage number 3. As William Byron and Denny Hamlin going to lead them hard down into the back straightaway, side by side, a dead heat, a dead duel, heading into turns number 3 and 4 for the first time in stage number 3. Larson, Reddick, all lanes staying there as you take a look at the biggest movers.
As you saw on screen, Kurt Busch and Tyler Reddick were your biggest movers in Stage 2. And they're both up front currently, although it looks like Reddick's about to drop to the back. Currently Byron's holding the lead with some help from his teammate Kyle Larson. It looks like Hamlin's lane on the outside is not as strong as it was when they got to the green flag a few laps ago.
Laps are starting to wind down at the Great American Race, and Hendrick teammates of William Byron and Kyle Larson are controlling the lanes currently. Can they hold on, or will a Toyota make a challenge? We'll just have to wait and see, folks. Into turns 3 and 4 now. Off turn 4, Byron leads at the stripe.
Yeah, with just over 60 laps to go exactly, these drivers, they just want to be a bit patient. They just want to make it to the pit stops and then start to make things happen. Oh no! Kyle Larson to the inside wall. He corkscrewed around off the bumper of Kurt Busch. And the third caution for incident is out early here in Daytona.
Tough luck for Larson in that 5 car. We're going to have to take a look and see what happened to him. Looks like the window net's down on his car. That's good to see. Here is your replay of the incident. It looks like he tried to block Kurt Busch, and unlike some of the blocks that we've seen today, it was poorly timed, and it ultimately is going to cost Larson a chance at this 500. It looks like, yeah, that's pretty much entirely Larson's fault there. Nothing Kurt Busch could really do about that. So it looks like he was just trying to swirl around him, getting in front of Chastain. We're fortunate that didn't cause a big one, as that could have been really rough as they were 3 right behind them. Yeah, Kyle Larson was your only driver involved in this wreck.
Yeah, big hit for Larson in the number 5 machine. That's going to spell the end to his Daytona 500 hopes. Cars are currently still under the yellow flag. Now, folks, let's take a look at a race recap so far. See, Chris Buescher and Daniel Hemrick got involved in a big crash early, kind of setting the tone for what this 500 was going to spell for us. As the cars came down pit road for their first set of green flag pit stops, Alex Bowman then blew an engine and had to go to the garage early. That makes 2 out of 400 cars out now. And then, taking a look a little further into it, Kaz Gralla ended up blowing a tire, unfortunately. Gonna spell the end to the 50 teams, the money team's first ever start. The Daytona 500 ended up in the outside wall and in the garage. Then, coming down the back straightaway, Kyle Larson takes a hard hit to the inside wall. And the 5 car is out of it as well.
Yep, some nasty knocks for some drivers today. Hate to see it for all of them. Is the 5 cars being taken to the garage now. It looks like they're going to be coming very shortly to taking the green flag. I believe the next lap is the one where they will be double filing to get ready for the restart. So it looks like we only have about 55 laps left in this race. Corey LaJoie is your free pass driver. That means that now both the drivers who got penalties on the last green flag pit stop cycle are now back on the lead lap. That's great for both of their teams. So it looks like these drivers are ready. They're getting excited as we only have a little over a quarter of the race left to go. The pit car has gone onto pit road. And we are green flag racing here at Daytona once more. Looks like Byron is trying to get an advantage going down the backstretch. He's going to, strangely enough, have some support from Busch's team owner in Hamlin. It'll be interesting to see if Hamlin's willing to help Byron get to the lead, although it looks like that line is now falling back as Kurt Busch is going to lead the lap.
Kurt Busch will take the lap lead. There goes Byron without his Hendrick teammate of Kyle Larson's now getting thrown throughout the pack. Kurt Busch down the back straightaway has the lead currently with help from Denny Hamlin. Ross Chastain is there as well behind those two.
Yeah, Joey Logano going to tuck in just behind them, as well as Keselowski, his past teammate here. But you can see the entire field. They're going to try and settle out on the outside lane. They just want to ride laps. They do not want to be involved in a silly blocking incident like Kyle Larson was. And right now, they just want to log these laps, get to the next set of pit stops, and keep going.
Yeah, well, as we're very nearly approaching 3/4 of the way done, it looks like most of the field's single filing out. Byron's really falling back, but it looks like he has some support behind him for a second lane. So it looks like Hamlin, as he has been in most of the race, is more than happy to help his new driver in the new 45 team of Kurt Busch keep the lead.
Yeah, Kurt Busch continues to lead here at Daytona, and I think MLCS is completely correct. These guys are just trying to log laps. They don't want to be involved in the big one. They don't want to set off the big one. And with 50 laps to go, you got to think it's on their minds that it's coming. And we'll have to see when it does occur. Kurt Busch still out front, still single file up front.
Yeah, you definitely are right. All these drivers just trying to make it to the end of the race, but Ross Chastain, he's going to be left out of the party, stuck to fend for himself, but here comes the former Penske trio to the inside, trying to make something work as they head to the inside of Kurt Busch.
Yeah, the way those three are working together right now, you'd think that 6 car was still a 2 car with Brad Keselowski in it, but as we've noted before, Brad Keselowski now a major ownership partner in RFK Racing, as he leads his former teammates to the 22 and 12. But now it looks like Logano is going to try to make a move on Keselowski, as now it looks like they'll have some more Fords behind them.
Logano to the inside of Keselowski right now. He's looking to get the lead back and put Penske back out front, and he's going to successfully do that down the back straightaway. The 22 is in control, but here comes Ross Chastain up top with help from Chase Elliott in the number 9 car.
It's going to be a 2-car battle for the front. Chastain versus Logano, but look at the dogfight that was behind them. The entire field, they're going to start to settle down just slightly, but for a second, 3x3 for, I believe, around 6 rows back, as they now settle back into double file form, with still Logano and Chastain out front.
Yeah, it looks like once again, manufacturer ties are becoming pretty important in this race. Don't go away. We're not going to commercial quite yet. We're instead going to another amped up segment.
Gentlemen, start your engine! Welcome back from commercial break here to the Daytona 500. Joey Logano is still in control with Ryan Blaney in tow behind him.
Yeah, that Penske duo still leading on the inside lane. Chastain, the mellow man, on the outside with support from Chevrolet affiliate Chase Elliott. As you can see, as they stream down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Logano still out front. Pit stops, they are coming soon though. About 5 laps is heard from the Ford radio.
Yeah, something to note that's interesting is that we haven't seen a whole lot of the third line being used in this race. Don't know if that's just a change in the racing product or not, but it'll be interesting to see in following races with this package what happens. It looks like Eric Almirola is going to once again be left, as well as Timmy Hill. So we'll be updating the ticker to reflect that.
Yeah, there goes Timmy Hill getting a lap down, unfortunately. But Ross Chastain is now edging ahead of Joey Logano down the back straightaway, and he's wanting the lead. Can he take it away? Here's your Toyota top performer so far on lap 166. Martin Truex Jr. is currently 6th, the highest Toyota driver of them all.
And if you take a note of that, you can see they are every other even number, and that is because they are in a line behind Chase Elliott. It's a Toyota brigade trying to make their way to the front, and with one small opportunity, I think they could pretty easily get there.
I'm here for some of our pit reporters. It's going to be any lap now that these drivers start to come down pit lane. Not hearing any movement for this lap currently. Maybe next time, as it looks like there's just going to be content going 2 by 2 until the pit cycle starts. It is still Logano and Chastain out front, a sight we have seen a lot today so far.
Yeah, hands out the window, more than likely coming this lap. We know this is the money stop, the final pit stop of the race here, the Great American Race. This could make or break your day. Let's see how it plays out. Will we see any Fords come this time? Yes, we will. Green flag pit stops are underway, folks.
Joey Logano is telling his team that he wants some new right tires for this pit stop. Apparently some of the Fords have tried it and it helped. 2 tires and fuel for him.
Michael McDowell in the Loves machine has been telling his team he wishes the car was a little tighter, but is not terrible. Fuel only for the 34 car.
Chastain coming in for his stop. His team is satisfied with how he's racing so far, so they won't change anything. A fuel only stop for the number 1 machine.
William Byron is coming into his stall, telling his team that he's happy with the car, but that it could be use a little more speed when he's out front. Fuel only stop for Byron.
The 3-time Daytona 500 winner thinks he can make it 4 today. Fuel only for the 11 car.
Truex Jr. has told his crew chief that the car is driven well today, but he thinks they're going to have to make some adjustments later as the track starts to change. But it'll be fuel only for the 19 team this stop.
Chase Briscoe has been one of the fastest Ford Mustangs this weekend and intends to stay that way. He is very happy with the car right now and will take fuel only.
Eric Jones has been surprised with how good his car is today. He said he's especially get out front. He's happy with the car. Fuel only for Jones.
Kevin Harvick spent most of Stage 2 complaining about his car. However, since then, he says his car has been improving. It's only a splash of fuel for the number 4.
David Reagan hasn't been saying much in his 15 car today. He likes the team's previous adjustments and hopes to avoid any wrecks. 2 tires and fuel for the 15.
And it looks like all of our main pack drivers have taken their pit stops. With only 26 laps to go in this race, it looks like Chase Elliott's going to be leading the pack. As we can see, some of our drivers, these ones took some tires, so they're going to fall to the back of the pack. Most of our drivers who just took fuel only are at the front, with Elliott, Chastain, and Truex leading them currently. And the fastest pit stop of this cycle went to Bubba Wallace, and we have some problems behind them. The tires come off the 41 car of Cole Custer. That's going to be a penalty. That's the first time you've seen this season. The caution is out. It's going to be falling into the turns of a debris caution as we see the 41 car pulling into his stall. That entire wheel just missing as safety crews are on their way to retrieve it. We're going to have to get a look at what happened here. Yeah, it looks like they just didn't secure it properly. You can see some smoke as it was getting into some of the side skirts before it just popped out. It's impressive that he was able to bring the car back to pit road with only 3 tires. That certainly damaged his car, and he will certainly at least be a lap down after this. But yeah, that's going to mean a 4-week suspension for his crew chief and some of his crew guys. As you can see, the incident on lap 175, only him involved and not Reese-ending damage. We're going to go to commercial break for what will probably be the last time in this broadcast.
We're back here from commercial break here at the Daytona International Speedway. Goodyear officials have picked up that tire, and Kevin Harvick was too fast entering pit road, so he's going to have to do a pass-through penalty, and BJ McLeod will get the free pass in the 78 machine. Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain are going to be your front row. You see the graphic to represent who chose what lane. Let's get this one back underway. Pace car is going to make its hard left out of pit road, and we're back racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Elliott's going to have the early jump over Ross and Truex. Can he control these lanes? We're going to have to wait and find out. Remember, folks, the big one has still not occurred, and we're within the last 20 laps of the race. When will it happen? We're going to have to wait and find out.
Chase Elliott continuing to lead that bottom lane strong. You some 3-wide action, therefore in the back. But right now, it's all Chase Elliott out front as he slides in front of Chevrolet affiliate Ross Chastain. As they head in turns 3 and 4, Bubba Wallace, he's down the second hole and he is gone. But Chase Elliott yet to lead yet another lap.
Yeah, Chase Elliott's still doing a great job blocking, although it looks like Blaney might finally have the momentum to come side by side with him. No, instead, Elliott's going to block once again, and now Elliott's down the second hole. Just one block too many for him. Lucky for him, that one block too many wasn't going to result in a wreck, as now Truex and Blaney are coming side by side to the line.
Blaney is leading that outside lane. Truex has been hung out to dry as William Byron helps the number 11 of Denny Hamlin down the back straightaway, try to get back to the lead. Here we go into 3 and 4. Logano still behind Blaney. Denny still on the bottom, dead even to the line.
Yeah, and if you're in this situation, you want to be in that top lane. You want to have teammate backing behind you. If you're Denny Hamlin, you have zero trust in William Byron. He has 2 Chevys behind him. You do not want him pushing you, but you will take whatever you can get as they head through turns 3 and 4 once again.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney leading to the line. Only 15 to go in this race. Only 15 to go until we determine who's going to be our race champion this year. It looks like Blaney still has the lead over both the lines. Byron makes a move. It doesn't work! Oh, no!
Joey's up and over!
A massive crash. This is the big one. We were hoping it wouldn't happen, but here it has. Safety crews are already responding, although I don't know what they're going to do for some of these drivers because they are wadded up, as it looks like the 38 and 43 cars are going to be able to make a move, and Burton as well. So that might not be the end of their days. We'll have to find out in a moment. But man, what a massive... Sorry.
SFCS, I'm going to tell you this. Well, they're going to need more than one ambulance out there. So they're going to start the cleanup process. The red flag has been displayed. Rightfully so, guys. What a crash here at Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, let's take a look at your replay here. See on how on earth this happened. Down the back straightaway, Byron tried to go out. He got a bad push, and look at Logano up and over, flying airborne, and the entire field is wadded up as well as a parking lot in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, absolutely massive hits there. For a bunch of your leaders, it looks like Ryan Blaney was like almost the only one of those guys out front to get through there, and that's because he was in front of it. Yeah, it looks like the entirety of RCR was involved in that. The entirety of Front Row was involved in that. Effectively, all of JGR was involved with that. So massive names, massive teams taken out all in one crash. And we can't ignore the fact that Logano flipped. Only one race with this new car, and we already have a driver going up and over. It looks like
it's another fact we cannot ignore is the fact that Corey LaJoie started that crash and caused this big one. Are we surprised, folks? I do not believe so. Cars are starting to get hauled into the infield garage as there is your drivers involved. Many pages here at Daytona.
Yeah, as you can see, the red flag has been displayed there, stopped in the backstretch. Cleanup is continuing. Logano's car is being taken away. We are quickly going to give a recap of the Truck and Xfinity Series finishes.
Yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at the Daytona Truck Series highlights from Friday. See, lap 93 out of 100, Ben Rhodes was leading the single file line, and Zane Smith gets turned off the bumper of Austin Hill. You might have thought he was clear, but he was not, and he hit the pit road wall, but thankfully, no pit crew members were hurt in that crash. And he was taken to the infield care center where he was fortunately all right. And this set up a race with 2 laps to go. Take a look at this amazing finish. They went green. Ben Rhodes led the field off with 2 laps to go. He jumps to that higher lane to block his Thor Motorsports teammate, Ty Majesty. You see Grant Enfinger on that inside of Ben Rhodes trying to get everything he has to get past him, or at least get side by side with him. And Ben Rhodes and Grant Enfinger were side by side coming to the white. 1 lap to go in the Truck Series race. You see Grant Enfinger taking that lead over Ben Rhodes. He kind of fell back, and Matt DiBenedetto was right behind him, trying to make a move of his own. But Grant Enfinger is defensive. He ends up coming off for Grant Enfinger in the 23 truck. Matt DiBenedetto trying to get everything he has, but loses by a car length over Grant Enfinger. And Grant Enfinger wins the Truck Series race here at Daytona. What a win for him. He gets the first Truck Series race win of the 2022 season. So we head over to the Xfinity race here. Let's take a look at this. There was a crash with 3 laps to go. You see William Byron, Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson, and Jeremy Clements. Oh, and Riley Herbst too. He had a little slight damage. But yeah, those were the cars involved. And Riley Herbst and Jeremy Clements will be in this race. You see Jeremy Clements getting repairs on pit road, but Byron, Gibbs, and Gregson were out of this race. You see the caution came out, and this set up an overtime finish for the Daytona Xfinity race. So we go back green here. Sheldon Creed leads the field off. You see AJ Allmendinger trailing right behind him in this overtime. You see Jeremy Clements in the back right there with David Starr. You see here comes AJ Allmendinger right beside Sheldon Creed. They were side by side. You see Landon Castle right there in the 10 right beside. Here comes Josh Berry in the 8 with 1 lap to go in the Daytona Xfinity Series. You see Sheldon Creed having no drafting help falls back all the way to the back of the field. You see Josh Berry, the number 8. Here comes Landon Castle, but he gets turned by Brandon Jones. Josh Berry out in the league. Justin Allgaier in second. Justin Allgaier couldn't make a move on him, and Josh Berry wins the Xfinity Series opener at Daytona. See, JRM had good teamwork right there at the end. They finished 1, 2, and 3, but Josh Berry in victory lane, and that was the Truck and Xfinity Series highlights.
That's right, it has indeed been a full week of absolutely wild races and finishes. So it looks like some of our drivers with damage are starting to pull off onto the racing surface again. So it looks like we're going to be coming back to the green very shortly. And now it looks like Eric Jones is pulling off pit road. That should be the last of our 4 drivers who got damaged in that wreck, but are continuing in the race. We are coming up to the formation lap very shortly. It looks like Blaney and LaJoy will be our front row. They were the first 2 guys to squeak through that wreck. The dynamics at the front of the field look a whole lot different than they did just before the big wreck. Cole Custer is your free pass driver, by the way. That'll be huge for his team. So we see a bunch of drivers who we haven't really seen at the front a lot today, now having a chance to win this race. Alright, maybe this will be the final restart, maybe it won't. The pace car is down pit road, and we are green flag racing with less than 10 laps to go here in the Daytona 500. As Ryan Blaney and Corey LaJoy are still dead even going down the backstretch. No one's going to want to give up an inch here, as if they go to the back of the field now, this might be the very end of their chances to win today.
7 laps to go at the stripe, and they remain double file. Ty Dillon gonna slip back a bit further, but here we go. We got some contact. We got some moving around. Here they go. When will you make your move? How will you win Daytona 500? This is where you figure it all out, as we got a breakaway of 3 cars off turn 4.
As they're about to cross the line to only have 7 laps to go in this race, a Chevy crew has taken the outside lane by a storm with what looks like 6 drivers leading it. That's probably the most we've seen all day. So it looks like that manufacturer in particular managed to survive the big one. It'll be interesting to see if these Trackhouse teammates make a move around the 7 car of LaJoy anytime soon, as they already are coming to the line.
Here they come. Trackhouse teammates making a move on Corey LaJoy. Here they come on the bottom lane with help from Kurt Busch in the 45 and Bubba Wallace in the 23. Teammates are up front right now. Here we go. Off turn 4 here at Daytona. 5 to go with the line.
Only 5 laps to go, and tensions are arising. Corey LaJoy, he is gone. He is out of the picture. He will not be winning this race. But Ross Chastain, The Daniel Suarez Trackhouse teammates lead a band of Chevys behind them, where Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell are the first Toyotas.
Yeah, it looks like if things currently stay the way they are, it might be a duel to the end with the Trackhouse and 2311 teams, but don't overlook Stenhouse and some of those Fords that are following him, as they might have a chance to get up towards the front, as we're coming to only having 3 laps to go in this race. It is crunch time. This is now or never. One name will become a champion forever.
Ross Chastain still out front in front of Daniel Suarez. Can they hold on? Oh, Bubba Wallace is going to split his teammate of Kurt Busch. Bubba Wallace leaves his 2311 teammate of Kurt Busch, and Kurt Busch is now behind him, but that's going to shuffle Christopher Bell out of the 20. Coming off turn number 2. 2 laps to go with the line.
2 laps to go for the Great American Race, and its Trackhouse teammates leading the way up top. Stenhouse slipping right there in the slipstream behind. When will the moves be made? The top 2 single file. Here comes Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace. They're 3 wide. It's getting rowdy as they head off turn 4 to the white flag at Daytona.
1 lap to go here in the Daytona 500 as Kevin Harvick makes a move. He's going to hang Suarez out to dry. There are no friendly ties anymore. No manufacturers mean anything. If you're up front, you have a chance to win. And Ross Chastain's going to block Harvick into the wall. And that puts the 2311 guys up front. Bubba Wallace is your Daytona 500 champion. What a crazy finish that was. As we can see his crew celebrating. Phenomenal job there by the teammates for 2311, finishing 1-2, getting Wallace his second win with the team and his first Daytona 500. As we see even more celebrations here, I am astounded. What about you guys?
What a finish to the Great American Race. Bubba Wallace slips through the chaos and gets it done after Ross Chastain throws a terrible block on Kevin Harvick. Here was the white flag. Harvick made the move to the middle. He wanted to win this race. That shuffled Chastain's teammate of Daniel Suarez out. Then they come down the back straightaway. Harvick made the move for the final time, and he did not get it done. Bubba Wallace, with help from Kurt Busch, would take the checkered flag here at Daytona.
As now Bubba Wallace is going to burn it down as the fans celebrate behind him. What a moment for him as he turns the car off. As we can see, a little bit of wheel inspection, just making sure nothing's amiss. As these drivers that didn't win go down pit road. Disappointment for all of them, I'm sure, but not for these guys, as they are all absolutely just ecstatic right now. As Bubba Wallace, as we've said multiple times, has won the Daytona 500. We're going to commercial one more time.
And welcome back to the Daytona 500 post-race show. Bubba Wallace, beating all odds, has taken away the first ever points race in the next-gen car, and let's take a look how he did it. As they head to the white flag, he's on the inside, he is leading that pack, and Harvick gonna make a crazy move. Suarez is out, and right now you must be thinking, oh, I could have a chance to win this thing if everything goes right. And Harvick made his move, Chastain with a bad block, and just like that, Bubba Wallace led 2311 teammates across the stripe, victorious.
As it looks like they're starting to push his car towards victory lane. What an awesome moment for them. So they're about to be able to celebrate with the trophy that you see right in front of you. Let's take a look at your finishing results. Here are your unofficial results. Bubba Wallace won this race over his teammate Kurt Busch. Just behind him, Cindric, Dillon, and LaJoie rounded out the top 5. Blaney, Burton, and Elliott coming up just short of the top 5.
Then Justin Haley finishes 9th. Noah Gragson finishes 10th. Cole Custer 11th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Landon Castle, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, and Daniel Suarez rounds out your top 16.
And then just inside your top 20, we got Kevin Harvick, Cody Ware, Todd Gillen, BJ McLeod, and then outside we got David Reagan, Greg Biffle, Eric Jones, and Timmy Hill 3 laps down.
In 25th, your last car on track, Eric Almirola, 4 laps down, and then all these are DNF drivers of Denny Hamlin, Michael McDowell, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano. All of those drivers in the big one.
Then more carnage behind. Lots of cars crashing out today. And this is your final page of unofficial results. What a race it has been today, guys. We have seen some generational racing and the first ever race of the next gen car. And here's the Gatorade victory lane.
As Wallace gets out of his car, celebrating with the crew. As we can see confetti all around them, and just awesome scene for them. As we're about to get ready to show you the trophy being hoisted, and there it is. The Harley J. Earl Trophy being hoisted by Wallace and his crew chief. If you see on the screen now, you can get some 2022 Daytona 500 merch online. And although it might be a great day for them launching into the playoffs, let's see who else had a great day today. As it's actually Kurt Busch, who is currently your regular season points leader as things currently stand, with his teammate Bubba Wallace behind him. Burton, Cindric, and Ty Dillon are the rest of your top 5 in points currently. Some other drivers that had good days that might otherwise not have: Corey LaJoie and Todd Gilliland and Cole Custer. All great days for them. Denny Hamlin, despite being in that massive wreck, is still 14th in points after some great stage racing on his part. We see some other drivers who managed to hold on to a top 20 in points. Harvick, Ware, McLeod, for such as examples. Further back, some drivers that you might expect to have done a little bit better today, like Briscoe, Truex, McDowell, Keselowski. Not great starts to their season, but fortunately for them, they'll have 25 more races to make up for it. And at the back of our point standings, Larson, Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, and Chris Buescher. The last of those two with only 1 point. That's how your point standings currently stand after the first race of the season.
What a race it has been here in the Great American Race. We have seen constant action all day long. We saw a flip, we saw the big one, and finally we saw an underdog victory get it done here in the Great American Race. I want to thank SMCS for inviting me on to the commentary booth. This has truly been one of the most special commentary jobs I have done all time. Thank you, man, and good night, everybody.
Yeah, what an opener to start out the season. What a way to open the curtains here at Daytona. Bubba Wallace takes it home in a race that had just about everything we wanted to see. So I just want to make sure to tell you guys, go on, subscribe. This took so much work, and thank you so much to SMCS for allowing us to have the privilege to commentate alongside him. It's been a blast.
It was great to have both of you on for today's broadcast. I'd like to thank Speed Cup Stop Motion and Money Lion Cup Series again for their efforts they put into this race, as well as everyone else who contributed, be it as a pit reporter or in some other role. In the upcoming credits, you'll be able to see exactly where your favorite creators helped along the way. I would like to thank all of you now who have watched this race, be it in part or in full, especially in full, because that is a lot of time you took just to watch this little project of mine. I probably spent over 1,000 hours total working on this, and I am thrilled to see my vision, my dream be accomplished like this. As you're seeing, we're still panning. What a great race it was for drivers such as Bubba Wallace, winner today. I had an absolute blast putting this together. This has been an SMCS production. We'll be back shortly for some other projects. Thank you all for watching, and good night.
The silhouette's burning, embers rising high, like a chemical fire. The flame won't die. Intertwined. Darling, you and I. And my heart beats cold, and you can choose to say false and go. Did I lose my mind into Mercury? Yes, and I know it's blind. vision of mine.